Hello, you guys. How is everybody doing? I'm gonna let you all start getting the notifications and coming into the room. Stay on for like an hour and a half tonight. I'm gonna let y'all get the notifications. Hey, the Black Barbie. We're gonna let other people start getting the notifications. Hey, Miss Gina. Hey, Positive Vibes. Miss Carolyn Harris. And I think if I can find my phone, I'm going to open up the lines. Hey, Miss Kawana. Well, I'm finally in with no problem. Yes, indeed. Hey, plus size baddie. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey, Miss Tyranny. Hey, Miss Yam. Joy loves God. How's everybody doing? Joycelyn, how are you? Is Jocelyn? I said Joycelyn. Hey, Kane Life. Hey, Marcus. I'm doing really good tonight. Thanks for asking. I'm glad everybody is doing good tonight. Today was a good day, but every day is a good day for me, even when things are a little shaky. Hey, DA, it's still a good day. Thank you. You all make sure y'all click the like button as y'all start coming into the chat. Yeah, I got something big happening um in October. I'll tell y'all. I'll post pictures and stuff after it happens. Hey, Miss Nelly. No, I'm not getting married. Okay, not right now. Anyways, I do believe I'm gonna get married one day, but as of right now, nah, it's not marriage. Because somebody came into my Facebook and said, "Are you getting married?" No, no, I'm not engaged or anything like that. That was Teresa. Look, she came out the bushes. No, I'm not engaged or anything like that. Um, right now I am in good conversation. How about that? Oh my God, cooking. Please do not wish that up on me. Please don't wish that up on me. You're the second person that said that. The person I was talking to last night was like, "What would you do if you got pregnant?" I said, "Have to be put in a straight jacket." At my age, I'll do what who was that? Who was that? Was it Elizabeth when she got pregnant at how old was she when she got pregnant? Was she like 80 or 90? Who was that in the Bible that God gave a baby? And she said, God has made me laugh. That's how I'm gonna be. God has made me laugh. My friend was like, dog baby, I'll be 70 with a 18-year old child. I said, I know, so you gonna keep your look, you gonna keep it in your pants then. Sarah. Sarah. It was Sarah. She said, God has made me laugh. I told him, I said, I would be like, God has made me laugh. I have to go to the crazy house. And then after they got me straight in the crazy house, I'll just get ready to have a baby at an old age. I ain't trying to get pregnant. I ain't trying to have no babies at this age. But here's something that's so funny. My tubes are not tied. Y'all know, I don't know how the doctors be knowing, you go, they tell you how often, how you're ovulating. And they said them things still dropping like they hot. So I can't risk nobody hitting one. Um, anyways. Anyways, you guys, I wanted to talk about, does Memphis need the National Guard, and what is the problem in the Black community? Okay. Yeah, they say them things still dropping like they hot. And I'm like, I thought I was in premenopausal. And my doctor was like, no, you're not in premen. I said, I know I got to be. I'm having hot flashes and everything. So, Tamara, here's your straight check. I'm telling you. As I look on the internet, and I just kind of look at the politicians around the Memphis area, and how people are reacting to the National Guard. Hey, they've already put the Tennessee state troopers on a mission. They have been enforcing the laws like crazy, y'all. Don't get caught with no phone in your hand. They pulled over a Memphis police lieutenant and gave him a damn ticket because he had his phone in his hand. The state troopers are definitely enforcing, they are definitely enforcing whatever the laws are. Now, here's the thing about that. The state troopers know, okay, that's like a double-edged sword, because I'm gonna tell y'all something that happened when I was working for the Memphis Police Department. The Bartlett Police Department used to be extremely hard. Y'all know Bartlett is a little small city on the outskirts of Memphis, and they didn't give a damn who you work for. They was giving you a ticket. And so what MPD and the sheriff's office did, because they was like, damn, if you work for the government, you already know, you pull that person over, the person show you their badge that they work for the government, you go ahead, as long as they ain't did nothing, real bad, you go ahead and give them a warning. Bartlett wasn't doing that. So what MPD and the sheriff's office started doing was they started tagging their family members. Bartlett police family members and friends got pulled over. They couldn't say, my son is a police officer for Bartlett. My friend is a police officer. They couldn't call them on the phone. Until one of the lieutenants at the Bartlett PD had to tell the Bartlett police officers, wait, listen, we all the same. Come on now, because ain't nobody being cut no break. You mess around and mention my son of Bartlett, your son of Bartlett police. Okay, you really getting a ticket now. And I think that's the thing that's getting ready to start happening with the state troopers, because the Tennessee state troopers have lost their damn minds. Okay. They are really enforcing. What's going to happen is the Memphis Police Department and the sheriff's office is going to turn their officers loose on any. They're going to put a hit on the state troopers, family members, and friends. They know they got to live within the city, the Shelby County and the city of Memphis, and you sitting up, you tagging other officers and judges and city and county and federal workers, you asking for some problems. Okay, you asking for some problems, and that's what's gonna happen. That's how they broke the Bartlett Police Department, and they get ready to break the damn Tennessee state troopers. Okay. They get ready to break the Tennessee state troopers. Johnson says, we used to have a service based on Democrats. Used to have dances. We used to have a service based on Democrats used to have dances. Um, yeah. Anyways, you guys, so people are preparing. You see now they're starting to and really enforce. The state troopers have always been pretty bad, though. They've always been really bad, and the state troopers, of course, everybody think Chief Davis is over everybody, child. The state troopers get their command from the governor of Tennessee, right? They fall up under the governor, and so they're much more vicious. Okay. The governor has always, I don't know if you all can remember when y'all remember when they was on the bridge, when they blocked off the bridge, when they did all of that marching years back, about what, 5, 6 years back in Memphis, and they marched over to the bridge and they had a whole lot of people. Okay. Okay. And so what ended up happening was the reason that Michael Rawlins was the reason that Michael Rawlins, he said, see, that's that, just because you are the police department don't mean shit. Well, I mean, I guess it don't mean nothing. You know, they got family members and they motherfucking asses got to ride around in Memphis and Shelby County too. So when they get pulled over, they already know they family members and friends and shit gonna get tagged. Okay, so I mean, why start that? Why start that? I'm gonna tell you something. Bartlett police, when I was doing traffic, Bartlett police had gotten so bad. Okay, Bartlett police had gotten so bad. Normally, when it was like a accident and it was a police officer involved, my lieutenant would always say, "Okay, make sure you call a supervisor to the scene." If it was Bartlett police officers, we was told if it was a Bartlett police officer and or family members and or family members anyway, it was a Bartlett police officer. You if they were at fault, you don't call no lieutenant. You okay? Don't get me started talking about this stuff. All right, that's old. But it was Black Lives Matter. You're right. It was Black Lives Matter. And so one of the reasons why that Michael Rawlins went out there and he was marching with, everybody, okay? He was trying to keep down because the governor had they blocked off that bridge, okay? And we already know that people have to get to and fro on that bridge, um and they had blocked the bridge and they was hanging all off the damn bridge and shit, just crazy. But anyways, Michael Rawlins went out there. Michael Rawlins asked the governor to allow him to go out there to try and calm things down because the governor had given an order to go out there and just start taking people down. He had given the state troopers a order. He had given the state troopers an order and they was prepared to do it. Okay. So Michael Rawlins came out there and really diffused that situation. Yes. The state troopers, they dirty. Now they dirty. You talking about dirty. And so what's getting ready to happen now is because the governor is really with the National Guard. Okay. The governor is really with the National Guard. Okay. Um, you're gonna start seeing more of the state troopers on the expressway, um, all up and down Elvis Presley and especially Lamar, Especially it says especially Lamar. Okay, Red Young. Okay, Red Young. All right. Teresa says, a sheriff in my county got stopped for a DUI and he thought they should give him a ride home. And when the cop told him he's going to jail and he started fighting the cops, now he got another charge and they should have took his ass to jail. Okay. And they should have gave him resisting and assault and all of those things. Okay. Our state troopers in Ohio in my area are nice. They arrested me for a DUI, but they treated me with respect. Um, a Mamba Life says, "Hello, Sister T. Hope all is well. I don't mean to throw you off. Are you gonna touch on that case just started? Danielle and Kennedy Hoyle, that boy throw that baby in the Mississippi. You know what? I was looking at that for a minute today, and I remember I just looking at he's so evil, but yeah, I'm gonna try to. It was really hard for me just knowing what he did to that baby. A lot of people think that he had killed that baby first. He didn't kill that baby first. He took that baby and dropped that baby in the a few days. The baby was a few days old, still living, and dropped that baby in the Mississippi River. It, it's just I don't. It's really sickening. Y'all good when active duty comes, it will get bad. 20 U.S. Army Hyde Park vet. Well, it seemed like to me, can they be any worse than the state troopers? Okay, so yeah. So doesn't it? But does Memphis need the National Guard? If they gonna do what's necessary, see the thing about it is, um, the only thing that bothers me is that they start messing with the law abiding citizens. They make them casualty, right? They start messing with the law abiding citizens. People just want to go to work, make money, take care of their families, and live peacefully. I wouldn't want for Red Young. Do you want me to block you? Do you need to be blocked? Cause you cussing in my chat. You being real disrespectful. You're being disrespectful. Now I've let you make it in my chat, and I think I've been respectful to you. And I would appreciate it if you would be respectful in my chat. I don't mind people expressing themselves. They don't have to agree with me, but I do. I would expect for you to be respectful in my chat. Okay. How do I feel about Boosie got indicted for Mo 3? How Boosie got indicted for Mo 3? He said they get ready to lock up a lot of black people for nothing. I don't, I don't know, Red Young. I would hope not. That would defeat the purpose of them coming if they come into lock up law abiding citizens. They're saying that they're coming to bring order. Now, the black politicians in Memphis, and Memphis is a majority black city, they have not been doing nothing. They ain't been doing nothing. They've been saying send them federal dollars that they get when a city is has a high crime rate. Okay. When they have a high crime rate. So I hate to say it, but a lot of the politicians have just been enjoying those federal dollars that is supposed to go into the urban communities that's got high crime in trying to prevent it and stop it. Okay. But okay. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Red Young, I think that you are committed to misunderstanding me. You never heard me say that, but I think that you're committed to misunderstanding me. So I'm not gonna get off into that with you. Not today. Yes, Tamara, I've been feeling since that one. But do I feel like that? It's got to be some type of order. There has to be some type of order. So I don't have any issues with the National Guard coming. You know, they say they're going to enforce a curfew. I be in the house at a certain time anyways, because you know I'm an adult. So when I want to be out, I'll be out. And if there's a curfew, I'll be in the house. It's safer in the house anyways. I work. I like to enjoy my things. So I don't run the streets. It ain't nothing in the streets for me. Certain times of the night, I'm not some teenager. Okay? I'm not some 20-something-year-old that like to run the streets. I'm a seasoned woman. So stuff like that is not, like I got out this weekend with a bunch of mature other women, and we went and we had some fun, right? We went to a mature place and we had fun. We had a girls' night out. Okay. You said F-U-C-K. That's what you said, Red Young. You said F-U-C-K. Go back and look at your stuff. Okay. So, does Memphis need the National Guard? I think something has to happen. So something definitely has to happen, you guys. Because it seems like to me, I've been saying for the longest, they feel like crime pays. And it's affecting our community when we're consistently losing black lives. Okay. And I know we say that Black Lives Matter, but in our community, does Black lives really matter? Because we're consistently killing each other. You know, it's a damn shame when you see people on social media say, hey, I'm riding around trying to see who I can catch slipping. So you riding around looking for somebody to kill. So, when it gets that bad and when people are just totally, to me, that's twisted. If you killing somebody and they are not a threat to your person, I can see if the person is a threat to your person. That's one thing. If they pose a threat to your life and your family life. But these folks killing folks because they want what they got, because of jealousy, and because of hate. Okay. So there has to be some type of deterrence. Okay. So, first thing people say, I'm noticing, well, I went through hell. I want to die. Well, then before you go kill somebody else, why don't you go ahead and take your own self out? If you can't seek help and you don't want no help and you feel like I'm destroyed, you want to go destroy somebody else's life, go ahead. We could do without you. Okay, I can't sugarcoat that. There are so many people that are useful. Okay, they're loved. They love their life. They work hard, and these ninjas out here killing them. I want that nigga car. Hell, fucking yeah! Get the National Guard up in this motherfucker and do what is necessary. Okay. So what pisses me off is you got mothers that won't even tell their children any better. Okay. Well, Junebug them got guns. Junebug ain't even got no money to continue. They got bullets because they robbed the damn gun store. How in the hell do they ever think that they can outshoot the National Guard and they're riding around in them big tanks and stuff? Yeah, that's why I said, y'all, it's something wrong with our community. And people are not, there is no discipline anymore. It ain't no discipline. It's I'm mad, I hate you, because I'm jealous of you, and I'm trying to destroy your life if I can. Okay? That is what is going on. And how do we expect the younger generation to act any better when you got a bunch of old ass mother suckers that don't know how to control themselves? That's why I say I'm very meticulous about the energies and the type of entities that I have around me. Okay, I have to feel a person out, and I made some mistakes because I'm a real loving person. When you get to know me, okay, I'm a real loving person. But if I see that you're flawed and you got some, it's one thing to be flawed and you're a good person. Okay, that person got some flaws, but they got a good heart. Okay, they ain't trying to mess over other people. But it's another thing to be flawed and you're just evil. Okay? Sometimes people show you what they want you to see and they'll slip through the cracks. Hey, but my cutoff game is on fleek, right? So that's why when we're human and it's so easy for us to be nurturing and love people. You have to ask God, show me. Because when I see people and they have a jealousy as it relates to other, it don't even have to be geared at me. It could be geared at somebody else. Oh, look at them. They think they something, and they think they this and this and that. They just went and got a car because I went and got a car. I don't fool with your kind. I don't fool with your kind. Hey, if a person can afford to get them a car, then hey, I salute to them. Let them get a car. But I'm not gonna be mad at somebody because I went and got a car, and then I might have inspired them if they went and got a car after me. They just went and got a car because I did. You see, they got the same color. No, lady, you you could never be. You can't be in my energy. Your vibration is too low. I don't fool with your kind. Okay, I don't fool with your kind. Right? Hold on, y'all. Let me see who this is. Hold on one second. Hello? Hello? Hey. Okay. Hey. Okay, y'all. He said this is overdue for the law-abiding citizens, the hard-working. Let me see. The hard-working citizens, they need to post up at these gas stations. Hey, y'all, something has to happen. And so I think we have to, and I'm talking about both now the National Guard and what is the problem with our community. I think our community is I think a lot of us hate what we see when we look in the mirror. And I think that jealousy to me is when you feel like somebody else has something that you can't have, right? Whereas I think that we should aspire not to have what others have. I could look at somebody else and be inspired by that. Okay. But even if I go and do it, right? Even if I go and do it, it'll be different because my aspirations as it relates to that, like I'm back in school finishing my degree out, right? And I changed my major to pre-law, right? Because I like to learn about the law. And one of the lawyers was, well, why don't you just go to law school and get your law license? You don't even have to practice, you know? And I thought about it. I was like, that could be a plus to be an investigator with a law license. And if I wanted to practice, I could. But even if I was to decide that I wanted to practice law as a lawyer, even if I was to decide that the lawyers that I'm around, I see good lawyers, I see how they're different. Even though they might handle federal cases or whatever, they're different in their presentation of stuff, right? Their presentation. They inspire me, but if I was to become a lawyer, I would be just like I'm a different investigator. My style of doing things is totally different than a lot of the investigators around me, right? And so I think people get, I think in our community we kind of get off of we don't, we get off of our journey because we start watching and looking at other people, right? Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And I think that is what is going on in our community. And it's making people that folks just taking folks out. And you would think that we used to say, oh, because they're young and they're dumb and they're stupid. It ain't just the young people. Okay. It's a bunch of old folks. So there's no discipline in our community. When I get jealous, I'm coming for your neck. I ain't got no self-control. I ain't really got nothing to lose. I'm miserable. So I want somebody else to be just as miserable as me. Instead of, if you're looking at somebody else, why not be inspired by them? I'm inspired by people every single day. I like being around people that's doing better than me all of the time because it keeps me inspired. It keeps me so inspired, right? And so I think that the national is necessary. You know, anytime you have young, they call them the YNs now, breaking into 80 something year old women houses and beating them and then deciding to sexually assault them. Now, it's bad enough when people get old, they are vulnerable. Children and old people are vulnerable. Really, we all are now. But we know a 80 something year old woman is vulnerable, but she still got the mind to live alone. Husband has passed on, but she's still able to take care of herself. She's still able to cook. She ain't got to be in a home, but she ain't got the strength that she once had. I'm trying to understand this. How come people like Orange Mound quit them ain't handling shit like that? It ain't no reason. And I'm not just picking on him. I'm just saying of his caliber. Okay? It makes see now I'm getting y'all know I be getting mad. If they gonna have these young dudes around them, it ought to be some rules, right? Instead of sending them out and then upholding everything that they do. If they supposed to be OGs, it ought to be some rules like it used to be. That's unacceptable. I'm getting mad because I'm thinking about they raped that 80 something year old woman and they was in their damn 20s. But y'all trying to tell me the worst thing that they can do is snitch? That's not the worst thing. You snitch, that's the worst thing you could do. But you gonna hang out with somebody that break up into an 80-something-year-old woman's house and beat her and rape her? They embrace them. The worst thing you could do is be a snitch. What kind of world we live in? I don't give a damn about the National Guard coming in throwing them around. Okay? Long as they ain't slaughtering them. That's why I tell you better tell them to put them damn weapons down. Them stolen weapons. They need to put them down. Okay? You riding dirty, your ass is you going to jail. Okay? What kind of world we live in, y'all? And so we can't consistently blame the white man for what's going on in our community. Okay? When Memphis is 70-something% black, that means in Memphis and in Shelby County. Memphis is a black city. Tennessee is a Republican state. Memphis is a Democratic city. Memphis and Shelby County. And we have majority black politicians. We ain't holding these Negroes' feet to the fire. A lot of them. So they see all this crime go on. They want to address it. But they'll say, keep sending them federal dollars in. What in the hell they doing when they understand we don't know anything about government? We don't know where funds are supposed to be allocated. Hell, we stay too caught up on worrying about what we doing to try to stop it, to care about what funds are coming in that's supposed to be allocated to the urban communities with high crime rates, to even see what the damn politicians doing with the money. So to me, it's a damn insult that you see these politicians. Well, Trump don't send the National Guard in because you know that they gonna be hard on the black boys. They don't feel nothing about these black boys consistently killing each other. And what's happening to all them damn federal dollars because of how high crime is in Memphis? What have they been doing with that money so far? Ain't nobody gonna ask them that. Yeah, wait a minute. Wait, I'm gonna whoop y'all ass, and I'm not playing either. I'm sick of y'all embarrassing me. You're gonna get your asses whooped. Okay? And so to me, it's sad. What happened to the men in the homes? Okay. They're supposed to be raising these young men to be men and beating the hell out of them. Beating the hell out of them ain't raising them to be men. You just making them mean as hell if you just beating their ass, beating the shit out of them, and you ain't trying to talk to them or nothing. I'm beating your ass. I'm getting ready. I'm gonna take them out. I'm gonna take them out to the slop house and whoop their ass. You just teaching them how to be mean. What did they learn after that? Okay. Steven said they need the National Guard for my dogs. I'm telling you. So, like I said, it's a shame. Okay. But hey, yeah, I feel like we need, even with the state troopers, okay. Yeah, hold on one second. This is my boo. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm back. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me. Need the National Guard and what is the problem with the Black community? Click on that one. And then you'll be in the chat room that I'm in right now. Can you hear me talking? Hmm. Yep, that's it right there. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Devastating for you. Said, oh, uh-oh, her boo done pulled up. Anyways, y'all. So what I was saying was, I think that the National Guard, okay, they should have. Oh Lord, Stephen gonna say, "Oh boy, her voice changed." I think that the National Guard, they should have been had the National Guard here, and that's what I talk about. Like people about how the Black community, like we have bigger problems, how people take advantage of our community and what we don't know, right? And so what they do is they keep us fighting with each other like we're the problem. Okay, they just keep us fighting with each other while they continuously take from our community, right? It's a lot of it's a lot of funds and stuff that come into the Black community that's supposed to be allocated. And what's so hurtful to me is you have a lot of these Black politicians that come up out of these communities. They grew up in North Memphis, they grew up in Orange Mound, they grew up in South Memphis, they grew up in East Memphis, they grew up in all of these communities. They saw how their mothers and stuff struggled, okay, and then they make it all the way. They run for office, and the citizens vote them in. And they know how hard it is in these communities and how the people are suffering and struggling. And then they get voted in and take advantage of the people also. Okay? They take advantage of the people also. And so I think it's a darn shame, okay, that hey, listen, that's the reason why I say, y'all, we got to have a renewal of the mind. We got to have a renewal of the mind because We got bigger problems. Okay? We do. We got bigger issues. And it ain't gonna change until we change our mindset. There ain't no reason, y'all, for the crime rate to be off of the chain like it is in Memphis. Now, we see the governor of Tennessee who helped to cause this problem, okay? The governor of Tennessee helped to cause this problem when he changed the gun laws. He changed the gun laws and made guns accessible, especially in the Black communities. Crime got totally out of control. And now he's sitting up hollering about, well, yeah, we do need the National Guard. Okay. When he's the reason, he's one of the problems. The Black politicians down there around City Hall and stuff, a lot of them been down there for years, way before Paul Young got there. And I know people are trying to say, well, you just partial to Paul Young. And I am partial to Paul Young because I know that Paul Young has a good heart. Okay. Paul Young has to try to fix all of the problems that the politicians before him fixed. And let me tell you something. The mayor that we had before Paul Young and the mayor before him was way worse than Paul Young could have ever been. You know why? You didn't hear any of the Black politicians saying anything bad about that mayor because he was handing them out grants. Okay, so as long as he was giving them big grants, he was greasing the palms of the pastors. He was greasing the palms of Jim Strickland, of a lot of these big businesses. They spoke good of him. You had the pastors that would get into their churches and brainwash their congregation. Well, Jim Strickland, he a good man. No, he was worse. He was bad when he was on the city council. But as long as they're giving out money to these so-called Black leaders, they turn the blind eye to what is going on in the Memphis community. And so that's why can't nobody get me to say anything bad about Paul Young. You got a lot of people that's stabbing him in his back right now. A lot of folks that had already been in office that had not done a damn thing for Memphis. They were stabbing him in his back because they ran for office and they felt like they should have won. So what they do is they secretly try to make him look bad. They stab him in his back because they want the opportunity to run for his position and win and further steal from Memphis when his time is up to make him a one-term mayor. But I'm going to tell you something. When he run again, I'm going to vote for him again. Okay? That's the problem in our community. We trust the wrong people. We want for people to always finesse us. Okay? We're always wanting for people to finesse us. Well, such and such, he ain't did nothing for us, but he sure be coming to the community and he kiss on our babies. And we want for somebody to finesse us all of the time. And as long as they do that, we'll give them our vote, even though they haven't done anything for our community while they were in office. But if you got somebody that's blunt, that's going to tell you, listen, this is the problem right here. You're going to have to clean yourself up. And you willing to clean yourself up, I'm willing to help you to clean yourself up. But you got a problem. I don't like her. She told me I got a problem. You know damn well you got a problem. But people don't like to be called on their stuff. And they want somebody to continuously finesse them. And yet they raking them over the coals. And that's what's going on within our community. So if you're asking me if the National Guard, okay, if you're asking me if the National Guard, how I feel about the National Guard, hey, they probably are going to be a little harder. You got to have your registration. You got to have not only your registration, you got to have, you can't be riding dirty. You're going to have to, if you got a weapon, you already know it's going to have to be clean. Okay. You already know that it's going to have to be clean. But hey, those law-abiding citizens, we don't have no issues with that anyways. But those that have been breaking into people's stores and businesses and houses and stealing their weapons and stealing their cars, they riding around. Okay? He said, I'm glad they are here for real, for real. Hey, listen, those that have been riding around, it's really unacceptable that people steal cars. Look at how TZ and them was stealing cars and riding around in the cars, and the police were not even running the tags. They driving them to work, stealing the car for their girlfriend. Folks, brand new cars, and they just riding around in them with no problem. Ain't nobody tags being ran. They ain't looking for no cars. They're just stealing folks' stuff. And so now it seemed like to me a lot of that is getting ready to change. Okay? So now when people go get their brand new cars, they ain't got to worry about these folks walking up into their carport so much and just stealing their cars like that. Because they already know the tags going to get ran. They ain't going to be able to just ride around in them like they've been doing. Hey, Justice for Dog. They know they're not going to be able to do that. So there should have been some order. And to me, it is offensive to me. All these black boys and girls losing their lives, and you got the black politicians not saying nothing. Nothing. But yet when the president say, I'm going to send in the National Guard, well, now we don't want them to send in the National Guard. We want the federal dollars. They've been sending in the federal dollars. And they ain't been doing nothing with it. It seemed like to me, but stealing it. So this is how they're able to steal the money. So they send in the National Guard. Okay. They send in the National Guard. Right. I mean, what they do is they send in the federal funding. Yeah, I'm trying to read the chat and think. They send in federal funding. They send in because those cities with high crime get high dollars. So it come in more than likely through the Congress, it come in through the county commission and the city council, right? So what they'll do is they'll find a nonprofit organization. They'll say, well, you know, a nonprofit organization, I'm going to make up a name called We Are the World. Okay. We Are the World nonprofit organization. The federal funding that came in, we're going to give, let's just say it's $1 million. We're going to give $250,000 to We Are the World nonprofit organization. We're going to give another $250,000 to Save the World nonprofit organization. We're going to give another $250,000 to Bam Bam's nonprofit organization. And we're giving these funds to these organizations because they offer this to the community. And it's going to help to lower crime with the programs that they offer. Yeah, excuse me, the whole time, Bam Bam nonprofit organization, We Are the World nonprofit organization, Save the World nonprofit organizations are their family members and friends. So they give them $250,000. They give them $250,000. Okay, Bam Bam, you already know I'm giving you $250,000. God knows what they do, whatever they offer, which is nothing, probably. But you already know you got to give me 50 of them back up under the table. Give me my kickback. Or the whole time it's their granddaughter's nonprofit organization with a different last name or something like that, or auntie that's got it in their name, but it's their nonprofit organization and they giving the money to themselves, y'all. That's how they do it. So that's why they keep hollering about, well, you want that federal funding. Hell, y'all ain't did nothing with all the federal funds. Memphis been a high crime city all this time. All that money been coming in. And ain't none of us said anything about where the money is going. We haven't asked for audits or anything like that because what we do is we're so busy hating on each other all of the time. That is the biggest issue in our community. We don't get together and get people, overthrow people that's trying to stop somebody that's doing something. Because we're supposed to protect our leaders. That's always been a problem in our community. We didn't protect our leaders. That's why we haven't had another Dr. King or another Malcolm X. Okay, because we don't protect our leaders. If we had a strong, a lot of people may not agree with what the Black Panthers was doing, but they was building something strong. Okay, you're not supposed to be able to come into our community and just take down our leaders that's on the front line, that's truly helping the Black community. Instead, we get jealous of anybody that's doing anything in our community. We immediately start trying to tear them down because of jealousy. And they could be doing a great thing. Women, well, they this, they that, just start making up stuff on them. Because even no matter what age people are now, they don't know how to control themselves. There is no discipline. They just jealous-hearted and they go into overdrive. That's why people have to constantly do stuff to protect their name and to protect their character and to protect their person. Because when people focus in on you, okay, it's something wrong with that. Okay, when people just focus in on you, right? And they don't know you, it's something wrong with that. And so that's what we see in the community. We see somebody, they start rising up and they could be genuine, but they don't play no games though. It's going to be some results, but I don't play no games, but I'm strictly for my community. It's going to be some results. We're going to start really doing some things to help Black people. People get jealous of them and want to start trying to tear them down, but they'll start trying to build up somebody that's full of bullshit constantly. Just finesse my ego, right? And so, y'all, that's a lot of what's going on. That's a lot of the problem in our community. We don't get mad at people. We don't get mad at people. Okay, we don't get mad at people that that's tearing down our community. It seemed like to me the only crime at this point in the Black community is to be successful. We started trying to take folks out. We started plotting against them, plotting to get them knocked down, plotting to get them taken out. Man, that bitch ass nigga think he got something going for himself. I'm going to kill that nigga. I'm going to show him. I want him to be broke, busted, and disgusted like me. We're going to kill that bitch ass nigga. He think he going to come up out of South Memphis and be better than me. But you ain't got the drive. You don't know what people go through to have what they have. That's the reason why I always say, in order to do what I do, you got to do what I do. Folks don't know what folks go through to have what they have. You got to go through the steps that they go through. You got to get up every day and do what they do to do what they do. But people want the gifts, but they sure don't want to do no work. Okay? They want the gifts, but they don't want to do what it takes to have the gifts. Okay? Because they got up every day, staying out all night at their business to make it work. Okay? I remember when I first started, my dad first got me my production company. My kids were still in school. I stayed up there at that office. Sometimes we didn't leave that office till 1 o'clock in the morning. I had a determination to figure out how to edit. I had a determination, even though I was working from 8 to 4:30, I had a determination if I had clients to get their stuff scheduled for TV, to get their stuff edited, I would bring, my mama said, put some air beds up there if you're going to have them kids out there. Because I didn't want to be away from my kids all day. So a lot of times I would have them most of the time up there with me. They be laying out on them little air beds, and I was up there till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because I had worked all day. And then I stayed up there all night trying to build my business. I was a single mother. People don't know what you go through, but they have the nerve to be jealous. That's why I say, in order to do what I do, you got to do what I do. And if you sitting hating on folks, you ain't doing nothing. Because your mind consumed. If you doing something, you ain't got time to be hating on people. That's why I say all the time, I ain't no jealous-hearted person. I don't have time to be jealous of people. Because I have to do what I do to maintain what I have. Okay? That's the problem in our community, y'all. Jealousy. Jealousy and envy is a sickness in our community. It's a sickness. Okay? It's a darn shame before God. And so, hey, listen, as far as the National Guard, and I hear people say all the time, if you black, you must not be black if you want the National Guard. Well, I guess I ain't black then. My chocolate skin tells me that I'm black, but I guess I ain't black because I want something. Thus far, what we have ain't working. You got the Memphis Police Department that's scared to do anything because if they offend the criminals, they might lose their job. Okay? So they ain't gonna do nothing. They ain't gonna even run no tag. You gotta almost jump in the back of their car to get them to do something. You got to almost jump in and say, look, take me to jail. And then they might not do it then. Okay? Because that thing is, I just want to make my life better. I want to make a check and I want to go home. That's it. I ain't got time to be on no suspension because a criminal. I stopped the criminal from robbing somebody and he got mad. Okay? But even though I talk about the state troopers, okay? I talks about the state troopers. Hey, they're going to be affected. Okay? They're going to be affected. And the National Guard is too. He said Monroe would just let them out. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. We got to pray for Monroe. We got to pray for Steve. Okay? We got to, I know there are some things that Steve has done that we don't like. Steve ran on, let me tell y'all, Steve got caught up in a trick bag. Okay? And I'm telling y'all something, my heart, y'all know my heart is real soft. It was raining the other day, and Steve started running in, and Steve almost tripped and fell on his face. I said, and it did something to me so bad. I said, Lord have mercy. It hurt my feelings. It really did. People was kind of laughing at me. It hurt my feelings. I said, Steve, don't hurt yourself. He said, okay. But Steve got caught up in a, how do I want to say it, Lord? Y'all, we just got to pray for Steve to do the right thing, because Steve ran on, the police has always overcharged Black people, and Black people complain about, they've been wrongly incarcerated and all of that. And if y'all elect me, I'm going to go back and reverse this. I'm not going to be as hard as Amy Wyrick was. But see, he started letting out. And so that's the reason why he genuinely said, I thought that's what Black people said they wanted. Okay? Steve never worked in a courtroom. He's never tried a case. He got straight out of law school and went and worked at the law school. Okay. He don't know anything about a courtroom. So if you ask me, he was never qualified for the job. Okay. People wanted something different. And I mean, and that was a mistake. Okay. And so now everybody is paying for it. And I'm sure when election time is here, Steve is going to go back and work at the law school. Okay. He'll probably be at the law school when I get ready to go through. Okay. But that's where he's been for 30 years, his whole career, and that's where he need to stay at. Okay, that he need to go back. Okay. But we got to pray for Steve while he's there for him to do the right things, because he's in a key position. And what has been happening is, and then Brent Taylor, the lawmakers, they keep the focus on Steve, but why aren't they changing these laws to make them more stringent? Now he talked about Steve letting these folks out, but if they change the laws and fix the laws where these judges could not, um, um, you know, they can change the laws, and the judges and Steve and all of them would have to charge these folks according to what the laws are on the books. See, we got our focus strictly on Steve when we need to be looking at these lawmakers, which would be the senators and all of them, Congress and stuff. And that's what they want us to do. They want us to stay focused on the DA, focused on the police department, but they don't want us to be focused on them and making them holding their feet to the fire, making them change these damn laws to make them more stringent, where these criminals can't just get out, because Steve and them charge them according to what the laws are on the books. Okay? And that's what's been happening. The killers have been going free. That's what's got to be changed. Okay? That's got to be changed. Steve, the judges, a lot of these judges are not. I was looking at one of these judges gave somebody like $1 million bail for stealing that nonprofit money. They gave them $1 million bond. But somebody that kills somebody, you give them $100,000 or $250,000 bond. Y'all, it's something wrong with that. But those are the laws that's on the book. So Brent Taylor needs to be focused on that. Hell, he got us staring at Steve, in which we should be looking at Steve, but he needs to change. Them lawmakers need to start changing them laws. You mean to tell me you'll get somebody $1 million bond because they stole some nonprofit money, but then you'll give a killer a $150,000 bond? I got issues with a rapist getting 1, 2, 3 years, but a dude that's selling weed or drugs, they give them 30 years. Y'all, it's something wrong with that. I got issues with that. I have issues with that. And so that's why I say we got to organize in our community so we can start fighting these issues one by one. There are a plethora of problems in our community. The system is totally screwed up. If they can keep us constantly going at each other, they get to have their way. Everybody in every other community comes up off of taking advantage of Black people. And the way that they're able to take advantage of us is to get some sellout Black people, to put them in key positions, and to keep us fighting with each other all the time. Okay? And ain't no politician, especially Black politicians, they shouldn't feel comfortable enough to get into office and take advantage of our community. We be fighting with each other and hating on each other so much. Anybody can get into a position in the Black community and just steal. No politician, I don't care what their race is, should feel comfortable enough to come into the Black community and hijack our community and steal from our community. It's got to be some repercussions in place. We hard on each other, but we ain't hard on these politicians that's stealing from us. Okay? With their broken promises. And so that's why I said we gotta change our mindset. And so that's why I always say we can't get off What do the twins be saying? We got to stay on code. Okay. We got to stay on code. We cannot deviate. We got to have an agenda and not deviate from that agenda. And then when we get somebody and we start vetting politicians and we vet them and then we decide to elect them and they get up there and they sell us out, it's got to be something in place. It's got to be some type of repercussions. There has to be a deterrence. There are no repercussions from selling out the Black community. There are no repercussions for selling out the Black community. There are repercussions for selling out any other community. You don't see white politicians selling out their community. You don't see the Indians or the Hispanics. They don't sell out their community. There's something wrong with our community because every other race want to see their community flourish. So they wouldn't dare sell out their community. Okay? But we get a bunch of Black folks and they don't have no issues at all. Even though they came up out of these hoods, was selling out their very own community. That's why I say there has to be a renewal of the mind in the mindset of Black people, right? And so until we organize and we start reading and learning and figuring out this stuff, because we're always looking for the next savior. Who gonna be a leader? Who gonna save us now? Dr. King. Our community would be so much better if Dr. King was still alive. Dr. King would have been passed away by now. Okay. And so people don't understand that they are the leaders in their communities because they're raising these kids in their households. You're the leader in your home. It starts in your home. But we're always looking outward for somebody to come in and save our community. When all we got to do is organize, start building businesses instead of trying to break up into the businesses, support them so that money can flourish in your community. But instead, we let every other race come into our community and hijack our community. Now, we're the number one consumers as it relates to these nail shops and these hair shops and stuff. How come ain't no Black girls owning none of these hair supply stores? And they set up in our community and hijack our whole community and our dollars. Okay. And so the first thing that, well, the Asians won't let us get into the beauty business. Okay. Well, we put them out of business. What you mean? We're the ones that keep them in business, and you're going to tell me that the Asians won't let us have a beauty supply store when we keep them in business? The moment we stop, you don't see white people in no damn Asian shops. In their beauty supply stores, you see 95% Black people. So if a Black person was to go and start and set up a beauty supply store, it would flourish if we would take them our Black dollars. But we don't want to do that. I don't mean no harm. I don't have no issues with no Asians, but you don't see no Asians patronizing the Black community. Hell, I be in Walmart all the time. I don't see no Asians up in there because they keep their dollars in their community. They got an Asian grocery store in Midtown. I goes up in there too. They got fresh fish and they got all the good herbs and stuff. Okay. But that's where they go shop at. You don't see no Asians hardly in no Walmart. They keep their dollar in their community. Right? Tamaria says they too scared to help each other. Afraid one is going to get ahead. It's a darn shame to be so jealous and envious when you think somebody is going to do good, that people start trying to dig graves and start trying to dig ditches for them, okay? They start trying to defame their character, okay? They start trying to, and after none of that works, that's why I tell people, you really have to watch and pray, because when all else fails, when they can't stop you, what they start trying to do is kill you. I've done everything. I've tried to defame their character. I've lied on them. I've tried to turn people against them. And I don't even know them. Okay, so that's a sickness right there. Ain't nothing working. I might as well go ahead and take them out of here because I can't stand to see them be blessed. All you got to do is close your eyes and put your attention on something else. You ain't even got to look at that person. Okay? But people can't stand to see other people be blessed. And when all this fails, they start trying to do the ultimate. And it ain't just young people. You got a bunch of old folks doing it. So how do we expect for the young people to act? They watching a bunch of old people. If you gossipy and messy and all of that, all you do is sit on the phone and gossip and lie and talk about who coding who, and you got kids in your house, how you think they're gonna grow up and be? They're gonna be a bunch of little messy kids. Okay? Kids are a product of their environment. So while we're looking for a savior, we're looking at what they doing to the black community, we doing it to ourselves. How come we can't build another Black Wall Street? Okay. That Black Wall Street was built like in the 20s. And you know why those black people were rich? Because they was forced to patronize each other. White people wouldn't patronize them, so they patronized each other, and they kept the black dollar circulating in the black community. And so they built a Black Wall Street. And so now I see black people are so slave minded now. A lot of us will say, well, I've heard people say, well, but you know, the white man just came and tear it down. Every time we build something, the white people just come and tear it down. That's why I don't bother no more. Y'all, to me, when if you grown and you talking like that, as if your life depends on somebody white letting you live, you really is a failure as a individual. If that's your mindset. Okay. That's right. And we let anybody in. I was looking at now the Africans, they're able to maintain because they understand, they pool their resources, they get in those braid shops, they do their thing, they make their money, and they stick together. Okay. They stick together. But now I see, I was looking at something on the internet. Now I see Asians are getting into hair braiding. Unfortunately, now I mean the Africans do a great job. I like going to the Africans. Okay, you hear people. I bet the Asians. I want to know. I want to see what it's like for Asians. I want to go that the Asians braid my hair. I want to see how they do it. I wouldn't care how they do it. I don't see the Asians, and I ain't mad at them. I don't see them patronizing nobody other than their own community. They hold on to their dollar and they make it circulate. And they get rich off of these supply stores and then they sell them to the next Asian. Okay? That's what they do. They come from over there and they sell them to the next Asian. That's how they do it. And now what they're starting to do is they made so much money off black people because everybody come up off of black people except for black people, right? Now they're starting to sell their beauty supply stores to the Hispanics. Okay? That golden supply store, the Hispanics own that in Whitehaven. You start to see them own, you can't hardly tell because a lot of them have slanted eyes and stuff, but they got them olive complexions. They're Hispanics. They're speaking Spanish. So now they're getting ready to hijack the black community. Okay? But unfortunately, it seemed like to me it's okay as long as it's not another black person. We make all types of excuses of why we don't patronize. Well, I don't patronize the black community because she got an attitude. Who follows you around in the beauty supply store more than the Asians do? They let you know all they want is your money. They don't even like you. They follow you. They let you know, I think you are a thief. And you can't stay up out of there. But you get mad at a small black business Okay? Because they can't give you a discount. Man, bro, you know you can give me a hookup. You don't walk in Walmart asking for a hookup. Okay? And so that's why I say, y'all, it ain't gonna get no better in our community until we have a renewal of the mind. We gotta change our mindset. We gotta change our mindset. Jealousy and envy is the downfall, and greed. We don't hold people accountable for what they've been doing to our community. And guess what? The people that's been hurting our community look just like us. Memphis has majority black politicians. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I done preached until my throat then got sore. Y'all know how I am when I get to preaching. When I start talking about politics, y'all know I love to talk about politics because I see what they try to do to our community. They always say, well, they try to teach us to let the well, I don't get into politics. I let the politicians deal with the politics. Well, that's what they want. My dad taught me that. My dad said, don't you ever say that you don't have anything to do with politics, that you're going to let the politicians deal with that. He said that's what they want the black community to feel. And that's what they want us to say. That's how they want us to feel. Because they know whoever controls the politics controls the dollars. And they never want us to get involved so that we can start controlling our dollars and the funds that are allocated in our community. They want us to always be blind to that. They never want us to know anything about government or anything like that. Okay. True 1000 said open up the phones. Okay, I'm gonna open up the phones. Let me find my phone, True 1000. I think I found it. It must be mint. Let me put it on the charger for a minute. Y'all, if y'all haven't hit the like button, make sure y'all hit that like button, okay? Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. The like button is free, y'all. The like button is free. I'm gonna open up the phone lines for about 15 minutes, okay? Hold on. It's charging. It'll pop on in a few minutes. It's gonna pop on in a few. Says everyone needs to be involved into some level. Right. Everyone needs to be involved. I would advise people to go to the town hall meetings, to go to the city council meetings, to go to the county commission meetings. Start teaching your kids to learn about politics. You know, we always talking about I want my child to be a basketball player to make me rich, or or some type of athlete, but let's start teaching them to be business owners. I think if we're going to get on the school board, we should be getting on the city and the county about bringing back vocational schools, because when I was in junior high school, we started taking vocational class. Like when they had like shop, we had home ec. It taught us how to sew. They started teaching them auto mechanic, how to fix on cars in the 7th grade. And they took all of that away because so many black kids and stuff, who everybody is not meant to go to college. So what they started doing was they was teaching them this stuff, and this technical stuff in school. They was getting out, learning about business and opening up their own businesses. They don't want black people to have successful black businesses, because then we'll be controlling the economy in another way. They want us to always just be consumers, right? Let me see if the phone is back on. It ain't back on yet. Y'all hit the like button for me. Devastating for you says everyone needs to be involved into some level of politics. Yes, into some level of politics. Yeah, me and my sisters go to our kind. The black folks always treat us well, just as we are. In my city, It's Asians and Black that own them. Hispanics are doing nails. I would say that. Okay. Oh wow. And I don't have any issues with the Asians owning anything, but I, I just get to thinking about. I know that in an Asian community, they're not going to allow Blacks to come up and own majority of the businesses in their communities, because what they're gonna, if that happens, what they're gonna do is they're gonna run them out of business by not doing business with them. All I'm saying is, in the Black community, we should own the majority of the businesses in our community. And if we want to go to other communities to patronize them, then that's fine. But in our community, just like in their community, we should own the majority of the businesses. Hold on for a second. Okay, y'all. Okay, so I just turned. Okay, so if you want to call in, I'll be on for like, let's see, I'll be on for like 30 minutes. You all can call in. Hold on. Neil says, I wish I had taken mechanic and more technology class. Yeah. Like we was in shop. They was teaching us how to make like our names and stuff, shape stuff in with wood, taking wood and carving our names and stuff, making letters and stuff with it. People make a lot of money doing that now. And I enjoyed that. I took shop. We like it was an elective. I took it in the 8th grade. And I wish I had kept that wood. It was thick, heavy wood, and he would teach us how to take it and shape it. And I remember spelling my name out, Tamara. People charge a lot of money for doing that now. They took all of that out of the Black schools. They took it all away because hey, this is Tamara.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's True 1000.
Hey, True 1000, what's up?
You got it. You sure hit the nail on the head.
I can't hear you.
I said you sure hit the nail on the head. What you said about don't nobody own it, but everybody else.
Right. Everybody comes in and hijack the Black community. And we passively let them do it, a lot of us, because it's okay as long as it's not another Black person. I think our mindset has to change about us in our community.
And like the guy just said, he wish he took all the mechanics and different kind of electronic classes or whatever. I got a son right now, 22. Ain't one mechanic, but this the problem that he having. Every way he go get a job at, they start out paying him good, and once they see how good he is, then they try to, I'm just gonna pay you this right here, then we gonna bump you up. I said, no, don't take no cut off what you know. Get your money up front. He was trying to be friends with him and cut him a deal here, cut him. I said, look, ain't no deal when your bills come.
That's right.
You have to get your money and quit. I said, look, you need to, and this is another thing too. You didn't say this. You left it out. People got to start teaching their children how to save money.
That's true.
Save money. Learn how to. This is another thing. It's a business I'm into called iGenius. They teach people how to trade. And I talk to people all the time. Everywhere I go, I talk to people about, and I just ask them, hey, you want to make some extra money in your part time? Yeah, what I need to do? Give me your name, your number, and your email address, and I'm saying. And most of the women, oh no, my old man. I said, well, you tell him to call me. I talk to them about it. And this is where you can teach your children how to make money. And if they good on the computer and they good at learning, they can this they can make money and take care of y'all and it's making money and y'all in control of the money, but they can't get it because you gotta get them the money out the account because they count your name. Oh yeah. And when they find out they gotta pay some money to do it, they nope. They ain't gonna do it. They bad. They fine. They stumble. But one thing about trying to build a business like that, you don't worry about the no's. You looking for the yeses. You gotta keep pushing till you get somebody. Once you get the yeses start coming in, it'll work out for you. But a lot of people they're afraid of no, but they quick to go pick a gun up and rob somebody, shoot somebody, break somebody's house, or get on these platforms and your mama this, your daddy that. Yeah, I had sex with your sister, your auntie, and your mom. Just don't make it just crazy. So none of that makes sense. And guess what? Ain't none of that stuff. All the people who really get making money are the people that's on the platform.
Right.
It's crazy.
And the folks on the platform ain't because I'm a YouTuber. I sure don't make none.
And they sitting back, everybody sitting back, and they think it's so funny. Like I'm gonna tell you a prime example. The old man be on there talking about what's his name? The Buddha man. He was in jail. They call him Buddha man. He be on there with the 20 verses 1 or 20 verses 2. Him and Woody, the old guy with no teeth, bald head guy. I think his name Fletcher or something. I said, this ain't the stupidest stuff I ever seen. It's in a sense of education. If you ever have to go to jail, it teach you what to look out for. But you on acting like you really did something. It put you in the mind of old P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And they talking about he said they gonna let him out. Man, that man has destroyed so many people's careers and they know there's more stuff that he did than what they got for. They ain't finna let him out.
Right. Well, I got other people calling in. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Hold on. Who was that just called in? You could call back. You all make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow, I may have a guest on. I'm going to bring on a mother who has a missing daughter that she wants to. I've been talking to her. I think she'll be able to come on tomorrow. She's definitely ready to speak about her daughter that's been missing. So I would appreciate if you all will come and support and the flyers and stuff that she has. What I want is when I start bringing these people on that's got these cold cases and missing persons, I want for you all to get their flyers and just start sharing them on your pages and just start sharing them and asking your support, like your friends and stuff, to share them so that we can have it circulating. Did anybody else want to call in? The lines are open. I'll be on for a few more minutes. If you want to call in, you could call in. If you want to call in, you can call in. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. It says, hi, Diane. She says, I keep going from chat to chat. I can only type in this one on this phone, though. Anybody else want to call in? That's what the problem is. They have so much negative to talk about. They can't talk about, right? That is definitely the problem in our community. You know, that's the problem in our community. We just, We always talk about, well, it's the white man keeping us back, this man that no, we got a lot of issues in our community that we need to fix and that we need to clean up. We absolutely don't have a choice but to do it. Um, she said I cooked chicken and dumpling and cornbread. That sounds good, chocolate. Chicken and dumpling and cornbread. I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna cook tomorrow. Tomorrow, I don't think I got any more catfish in there. Gonna say I would fry me some catfish, but I'll probably end up just baking. No, I'll grill me some trout. I'm gonna do trout and yellow rice tomorrow. Grilled trout and yellow rice. Rainbow trout is so good. Um, Y'all, the lines are open if you want to call in. Let me see. People be trying to call in for some reason. The phone don't be ringing. Hold on. Let me see something. Um, Make sure you guys please do like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Make sure you all please like, share, and subscribe. It is good. I love soup and I'm gonna tell you something. I already got it. Just waiting. I love making lasagna soup. And that's something I forgot to get my Boursin cheese. That's what I forgot. But during like the fall and the winter, and I have to watch myself because I'll mess around and gain some weight back because I've been losing weight good. Child, y'all ought to see me. I have on my tall heels and stuff again. Um, mhm. But in the wintertime, I love to make lasagna soup all of the freaking time because it's so good. And you could pack them pounds on making that soup. I just ordered me some. I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all tell me what y'all think of these. Y'all, we're going to talk about the young man that's on trial tomorrow. One of my subscribers asked me to talk about that trial. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That man throwing that baby in the water and killing that girl like that. He threw that baby in the Mississippi River. Now we're not going to talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that Saturday because I got a guest that's coming on tomorrow. Hold on one second, you all. Y'all, this is what I'm talking about. Mental illness is bad too. I want to show y'all this right quick before I get off.
Ends with shots fired and a woman dead. 69-year-old Calvin Johnson is charged with first-degree murder. Police say Johnson and the woman were drinking beer in Fraser and started to argue about religion. They say things got physical and Johnson grabbed a shotgun and hit the victim in the abdomen. He was wearing a T-shirt with something written about the Lord on it in his booking.
Y'all, that's what I'm talking about. This man then went and killed this lady because they out there drinking beer and they disagree about religion. Not to get off topic, but wasn't that thing I sent you today real? I haven't looked at it yet. I'm gonna look at it. I haven't. I'm glad you said that because I haven't looked at my email today. When y'all send me emails, don't get offended if I don't respond because sometimes it be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. Y'all have to tell me Y'all have to tell me, Tamara, go look at your email because I know you haven't checked it. I'm gonna look at it, Justice for a Dog. We are getting worse. Yes, we are getting worse and worse. And I'm trying to think, like, is it a mental illness? But people used to get drunk and just get the fighting. Now folks get drunk. I mean, so are they using the liquor and the drugs as a reason? Because now folks just get drunk and they go killing folks. And they old. My daughter-in-law makes a good taco soup. I have not. Yes. Did I do taco soup? I don't know if I've done taco soup. I do a really good taco pie. I think I have done a taco soup, but I do a really good taco pie. And I'm going to do taco spaghettis probably one day next week. See, that's all of that food, that comfort food that'll have me fat again. He said, I'm gonna jump out of the chair when I see it. Uh-oh. Devastating for you said some folks don't want to come to terms with alcohol. Done tore up the black community way worse than all street drugs. Somebody that's true. Devastating for you. That's so true. What's up, Fat? What's going on? Chocolate says I'm gonna have to try the. Oh my god, that taco pie is so good. It is so good. I got some crust in there. I think I'm gonna make me some taco pie. One day next week too. I'm gonna make me some taco pie. Those are like comfort foods. If I do taco spaghetti, I won't be able to do taco pie because that'd be too much fat food. I know for Sunday's dinner, I'm going to do turkey wings. I'm gonna do grilled turkey wings and candied yams and macaroni and cheese. That's what I'm doing for Sunday's dinner. I think I'm getting ready to sign back up for my Pilates class. I think the winter time is a good time to be going to Pilates so I can stretch really good and all of that. It's Pilates combined with yoga. Yeah, that's comfort food. I need to. I used to constantly saying I ain't gone to my kickboxing class in so long because every time I get off work, I be like, I'm going to my kickboxing class. I get off work, I be so tired and drained. I'm like, oh, I am going home. I did Pilates. I didn't care for it. Pilates is like a strengthening class. It's strengthening. I like it though. I like that stretching and stuff. I promise you, I do. I love it. It helps you to be more flexible. I like the yoga too. I like the yoga. In the summertime, I love yoga on the river. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys please like it, share, and subscribe. Okay, we just kind of winding down where we just kind of talking. But yeah, tomorrow is Friday, so I remember when Monday came, I was like, dog, Mondays can be so hard, and it's been raining. When it rain, I be wanting to be up under in the bed, up under the covers. I wouldn't even mind. Don't get me started. This is a PG show, I think. Now we rated R. We rated R. We ain't rated X. We rated R because we'll cuss up in here sometimes. We talk about grown folk stuff. Um, and I don't even know what rated R means. Yeah, what does rated R mean? Let me see. We always say rated R. Okay, rated R means a film adult material such as strong language, intense violence, nudity, or drug use, and persons under the age of 17 require um, accompanying adult parents, guardian to be admitted. The R stands for restricted. Oh, restricted, supervised. Well, I guess that would be us. Because, I mean, we don't really want no real, like, no youngsters up in here. Because we'll cuss every now and again. We do talk about, we do have a little, we do get a little passionate in here as far as like when we conversate about certain things. So it ain't gonna be no nudity up in here though. We do have some adult language because we cusses up in here. He said, "Don't get activated." I ain't gonna get activated. I think I've done good today. I've done real good today. I'm not gonna get activated. Y'all know sometimes I be getting mad. I be going in. Hey Jay, how are you? I sometimes be getting mad. I be going in, but I ain't gonna get mad and go in. When somebody come in here with some mess. Anyways, you all. He said, "Did I get it? Did I get what?" Uh, y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Listen, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. As always, I may try to do a video. Like, I had not been on in 3 days, y'all. Me and some of the investigators that I work with, we had a girls' night out, and we had a good time this past weekend. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna have another girls' night out real soon. As a matter of fact, we're all meeting up for a fashion show because it's the Southern Classic, right? Y'all know I don't do no tailgating or none of that. I don't do that. But they are having some events, and one of them is for a really good cause. So we're gonna meet up there, and because they was giving away tickets at my job today, free tickets for whoever wanted to go to the Classic. It's been raining all week, so it's probably gonna be raining for the Classic. But as far as tailgating and stuff, the only good thing is it probably won't be cold. It used to be real cold by the time the Classic came around. She said I'll be there. I don't do tailgating. I don't like it. I don't but as far as like going to events, like fashion shows and stuff like that, it's really a tea party. It's like a party event, um a real sophisticated event. I like stuff like that. um so yeah, I'm gonna get out for that, and then then I'm gonna go home. Anyways, you guys, but I appreciate you all tuning in as always. Oh, I want to show y'all know, because y'all know I'm normally be on here 2 hours, right? I haven't quite done the 2 hours. I want to show y'all the boots that I just ordered. They're different. I want to know how y'all like them. Uh, Hold on. Y'all, these are going to be so freaking cute. And I think about like wearing these during the winter and fall with a cute dress. I'm ready to show y'all. How do I pull it up? I be forgetting how to do this. Some people may not like them. Y'all know I normally buy anything with a heel on it, but this don't have a heel on it. I like that boot. That's gonna be so cute with a cute dress. I like that boot. I don't know why. I just like it. It go all the way up the calf. It's really cute. It's different for me because y'all know I love stiletto heels, but that is cute. I'm gonna wear it with a cute dress with some, and I can wear it with some like some leggings and a cute sweater. Anyway, y'all, enough about my shoe addiction. I really appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Make sure you all please like, share, and subscribe. Before we get off, I want to pray. Dear God, I just thank you for everyone that was on this live. God, I ask that you touch everyone and their families, to include me and my family that was on this live with good intentions. No weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. Any lying tongue, any evil thoughts, any evil person that tries to rise up against us or our families will be condemned. Any spells that was spoken, any evil thoughts that was spoken, anyone looking in the chat with evil thoughts, we rebuke and we rebuke every curse. We cancel it at the root and send it back to the sender, and may it manifest in their lives, their very own lives, in less than 30 days. Okay, always give it a time. Curse it at the roots, send it back to the sender. It manifests in their lives. The very spells that they speak out will be reversed and sent right back to them. Okay. I really appreciate you all. She says, "Oh yeah, do you watch Will Evans yet? YouTube channel. I like him. He prays before every live. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna check it out. That's my first time hearing about him. But it's good to pray before every live, before and after. Okay, because there's a lot of evil people out there that sit up and wish death on folks for no reason at all because of their hatefulness and jealousy. So we have to bind up the devil all the time. God says we have to pray without ceasing. Okay, and the very curses that they wish upon someone and speak out, it will manifest in their very own lives. Okay. I love you all. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. It has been a pleasure as always. Y'all have a good night.